welcome to our afternoon lesson in PSHE. So today, children, you are going to be learning to make fossil cookies. And we have been learning about fossils this week, so you all know pretty much now what a fossil is. Now, if you can remember, a fossil is something that has been left over time, and then soil and mud and water gets pushed together where a print is left onto a piece of stone or mud. So that's what we're going to be making today, children. We're going to be making our own fossils, but we're going to make them yummy because we're going to eat them. So we're going to be making fossil cookies. So to make fossil cookies, Miss Singh has put the ingredients on the website, and I've put the recipe on the website. Now, last minute, Miss Singh has had to change the recipe, so I do apologise, mums and dads, because the recipe that I put on yesterday was awful. So we have got a better recipe. So some of the bits in the recipe, if you don't want to put in, you don't have to. We're going to use that cookie recipe and not put chocolate chips in because we're a healthy school. So we're just going to use the cookie recipe to make our fossil cookies. So to get started, children, we are going to need our butter, and I've weighed everything out in front of me. So I've got my sugar and my flour all ready. Now what I advise is that you have everything ready on your table and that you have a grown-up to help you, so it will be easier for you to when you make this. So Miss Singh has weighed out her butter and I've got my butter ready. And the first thing on the recipe it says is that we need to use our wooden spoon and cream the butter together. So that basically means, children, to soften it. So that's what Miss Singh's going to do now. Now, you're gonna want your butter to be quite soft, because Miss Singh's butter is quite hard at the moment still. So you're going to want a really soft butter. So we're just going to make it all soft. Going to need your muscles for this one, children. Now, the other thing Miss Singh has forgot to say is please make sure, children, that if you are a girl and you've got long hair, that you tie it back and make sure that your hands are washed. Miss Singh has tied her hair back and washed her hands already. So I'm just going to finish the butter. So Miss Singh has now pressed all her butter down, and it's like a creamy consistency, children. So you're looking for like a creamy kind of feel in your butter. So it should be nice and smooth. If it's not very smooth, it means that your butter is too hard and you just need to leave it out a little bit longer for it to soften. Okay, so when you have done that, you're going to put your wooden spoon down, and you're then going to add the sugar, children. So the sugar goes in next. And then for this one, children, you can use your wooden spoon or you can use an electric mixer. Miss Singh has got an electric mixer, so Miss Singh's going to use her electric mixer to mix it all together. And you're looking for like a scrambled egg kind of look. My butter and my sugar has been creamed together, so you can see it looks like scrambled eggs, children. And what I'm also going to do, children, is that you can, on the recipe it says you can either add cinnamon, or if you like vanilla, Miss Singh is going to add vanilla. So I am going to get my teaspoon. This is a measuring teaspoon, and I'm going to put one of these in. So we're going to pour it to the top, and then we're going to pour one in. So we're just going to count one. So once we have done that, we're just going to use our wooden spoon and we're going to just mix it together again so that our vanilla is mixed all the way through. And then children, it's going to be time for the flour. I'm just going to take that all off my wooden spoon. So what you're going to have to do, children, is if you have bought flour that hasn't been sieved, you're going to have to get a sieve and pour your flour in and sieve it as you use your mixer. Miss Singh has already bought pre-sieved flour, so it means that I don't have to sieve my flour because it's already been done for me. So I'm going to just put my flour a bit at a time in. And then I'm going to use my mixer. So you can either use a spoon, children, or you can use your hands. So Miss Singh's going to use a spoon to mix it together, and then I'm going to use my hands to bring all the butter and the flour together. Now this is the fun part. So you're going to need to roll your sleeves up. So Miss Singh's going to roll her sleeves up, and I'm going to get my hands stuck in. So we're looking for it to come together. Should feel quite smooth in your hands, children. I love this part. I'm just making sure that all that butter, all those clumps of butter that we have got left in our bowl have all been broken up. So it should start to look like breadcrumbs, children. Making sure all the butter at the bottom of the bowl is all mixed in, because I've got clumps at the bottom of my bowl still. So I can still feel all clumps of butter. Making sure I get it off my fingers as well, because I don't want to keep any. I want it all for my cookies later, so I can eat as many as possible. Around the bowl with my fingers. You might want a grown-up to help you with this. And I think that's nearly it, boys and girls. now it looks like breadcrumbs. All my butter's been pushed through. And there we go. So now my mixture has come together, children. We're going to need something to bind it together. So Miss Singh has got half a cup of water in here, and what I'm going to do is pour a little bit in at a time, and I'm going to use my hands to bring it together. Now, you might want a grown-up to help you with this, and this, children, is just basically what's going to help it stick together. Because we want it to be like a cookie dough. So we need something to stick it together, so water is the best thing to use to stick it together. And then when you start to see it forming into a ball, you know it is coming together. So Miss Singh's already got a little bit of a ball. There we go, it's coming into a ball now. Is going to take it off the fingers to make sure that there's no waste. So once I've done that, I am going to get my mat. Now on my mat, children, I have got a spatula, a circle cutter, and if you don't have a circle cutter, you can use a bottom of a cup. And then I've got a rolling pin and some dinosaurs. So I'm just going to put this straight onto the mat to help me roll it out. Basically just want it to come together, children. So making sure it's in one big ball. That's amazing. So what you're going to need to do now, children, is you're going to have to get some flour. So the flour you've used earlier, you're going to have to get some more of it because you're going to need it to help you roll it out nice and flat. So I would say that you need it about this thin because you don't want your cookies to be too thick, because if they're too thick, they're not very nice. So Miss Singh's just going to get her flour, and I'm just going to pour some onto my mat, just so it helps my dough not be too sticky. So I'm just going to then roll it out. Lift it and turn it round. So you want it quite thin, because if it's too thick, it won't taste very nice. So if you've got a ruler, children, you want it about 1 centimetre thick. So you might want your mummies and daddies to help you with this part. Okay, I think we're ready. So, when we have rolled it out, we are going to get a circle cutter or a glass, and you're going to cut some circles out. So I've got one there, and I'm going to lay it down there. Now, depending on how big your cutter is, children, will say how many cookies you can get. So Miss Singh's got quite a big cutter here, so Miss Singh might not get so many cookies, but this recipe says it should make 24. So once you've cut them, you need to move them to one side, ready for the next part. And all I'm going to do is roll out the rest of my dough again and make some more. So I'm going to get it into a ball again. Right, so once I've rolled my dough back into a ball, I'm going to then roll it out again, children, ready to make some more cookies. So I'm just rolling it out again, about 1 centimetre thick. So remember, you need to ask your mummies and daddies to help you with this part. So it's pretty ready. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my circle cutter again. I'm going to push down. Now you can use the plain side or the squiggly side. Miss Singh quite likes the squiggly side, so I'm going to use that one. Alright, and I could test out the other side. So Miss Singh's going to test out the other side as well. And then I've still got some cookie mix left over, children, so I'm going to roll it into a ball again and repeat the whole thing that we have just been doing. So you're going to keep rolling it into a ball, rolling it out and cut in circles, or if you've got different shapes, you can use different shapes. But I would stick to a circle because your best part is going to come when you put your fossil into the dough. So I've rolled it into a ball. I'm making sure I've still got some flour on my dough because then it makes it less sticky. And then I'm going to use my rolling pin and roll it out again, and about 1 centimetre thick again. Over. Once I've done that, I'm going to then put my cutter in. So I think, children, I might have enough for one more circle. So roll it into the ball. Make sure I've got plenty of flour on it, on my mat. And I'm going to roll it out again. Making sure that I've got all my dough off my rolling pin because I don't want to waste any. And I'm just rolling it out 1 centimetre thick, which is about that big. Had enough for one more, children, and that's that then. So I'm just going to use that to put that dough to one side, or if I want to, I can just flatten it out with my hand and just try and get it and have it as a little bit of an odd shape so we don't waste it. I might just try and see if I can get one more. Oh, I think Miss Singh's been able to do it, children. I've been able to get one more. And then these are just my leftover bits. I'm just going to put them to one side. So I've finished with my cookie cutter now. I've finished with my rolling pin so that can go to one side. And we're now going to count how many biscuits we have made, children. So what Miss Singh has done, while she was getting ready with all her things this morning. So what I have done is I have got some trays and I have covered them with butter. So this helps your cookies not to stick on your tray, children. So you'll need to do this before they go into the oven. So what I have done is, and I've already put them on the trays here in front of you. So we're going to count, children, how many cookies Miss Singh has made. So I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's still a lot of cookies. So like I said earlier, because I used a bigger cutter, it's made less cookies. If I use a smaller cutter, I'll be able to make more. So it's entirely up to you if you want big cookies or small cookies. It's entirely up to you. So now we have made our shapes. We are now going to do the fun part, children. So I have got some plastic dinosaurs. Now you can use whatever toy you've got at home to make your fossils. You can use coins, you can use shells. Just make sure that they've all been washed before you put them into your flour, because you don't want them to go into your dough. You want something nice and clean. So Miss Singh has washed these already. And then what I'm going to do, children, is I am going to push them inside my dough. So if you look a bit closer, and then I'm going to take it out really carefully, and it's going to leave like a dinosaur shape. Now you just have to be quite careful, because if your dough is still a little bit sticky, it might not make the dinosaur shape. And that's how you make the fossils, children. So I'm going to try on a less sticky one, because I think the sticky one's a bit thin. And then you can also use the feet. So if you want to, children, you can push your feet in. And it makes little patterns, and it looks like fossils, children. So I've done that one, so I'm going to put that on my tray once I've finished. And then I'm going to see if I can push this one in. So I've got a T-Rex here, scary T-Rex, and then I'm going to push it out. Now children, can you see all the marks if you look closely? So you want to push all the way down if you can, but try not to make a hole. If your cookies are a bit sticky still, if your flour is still a bit sticky, it means you need to put some flour on. So this one didn't work, that's why Miss Singh's got a hole in this one. But this one, children, has worked. Look at that. So you can see the dinosaur fossil shape. So you, like Miss Singh said, you can use the feet, you can use the side, you can use the tail if you want to. Now this one's a bit sticky, so let's see if we've got a less sticky one. So Miss Singh's going to push his tail in, and I'm going to use just his tail all the way around. Look at the different marks it makes, children. Maybe you could tell your mummies and daddies at home, or your grown-up, about the different marks you make on your cookies. So I think I might push this one in and see if I can get a different dinosaur shape. So I'm going to push his head in, then his feet, then his tail. Oh, I like this one. It's made a really good print. And can you see the dinosaur shape, children? Just there. I'm going to see if I can push. Oh, I've got a long neck. I think this is I think this is a plesiosaurus with a long neck. I'm just going to push that really in. Try not to make a hole. And there you go, children. I can start to see some dinosaur shapes. I'm going to do some more feet ones. And I might push different feet into it. So I've got different paw prints, different dinosaur tracks. And then I'm just putting them on the baking tray, children, as I finish. I'm going to lay the pterodactyl down. See if I can get one of him. Oh, I'm going to turn him the other way. See if I can get his wings in. I want to make sure I've got his wings. I'm pushing it down really carefully. Can you see the pterodactyl wings? That's really good. Let's see if we've got another one. I'm going to push this one back in again. I've got the plesiosaurus. Make sure his tail's in, his neck is in, his feet. And then I'm going to pull him out again. There we go. So I'm just going to do these ones, children. So I'm going to use some more footprints. I'm going to do a mixture of footprints. Now remember children, when you're doing the footprints, you need to push nice and hard. And they're going to go on my baking tray. This one's a bit sticky, so this one isn't going to work very well. So Miss Singh's just going to roll this one up again and put it to one side. Now if you have this problem, it just means you need a little bit more flour, children. So I'm going to make another pterodactyl. I'm going to push him round. See if I can get his wings in. There we go. So Miss Singh's done that again. And I'm just putting them on my baking tray. I'm going to see if I can get this one again. I might see if I can get 2 dinosaurs on one cookie. If it will allow me to do it. See if I can get 2 of them in. Oh, Miss Singh's managed to get 2 dinosaurs in. And I just have 2 left. So let's see if I can get another 2 in. There we go. Miss Singh's managed to get 2 more dinosaurs on. And the last one, I think I'm going to do some footprints again. I'm going to use the pterodactyl feet because they're my favourite. And there we are, children. So, there are my cookies, ready to go into the oven. So what Miss Singh is going to do now is going to put them in the oven for about half an hour. But if they start to get brown before, I'm going to take them out. Okay, so I think it's about 200 degrees that you need to put the temperature on. So if you had just double check the recipe, grown-ups, and then you'll be able to put them in the oven. All right, so Miss Singh's going to put them in the oven now, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back when they are ready. So I'll see you soon. Hi everybody, and welcome back to our baking session. So today, children, we have been baking our fossils, and they have come out of the oven. So these are Miss Singh's fossil cookies. Now they've come out quite well, children, but what I would recommend is that when you put them on the tray is space them out, because when they cook they're going to spread. So we want lots of space. So what Miss Singh did was Miss Singh put too many on one tray. So you're going to need to space them out quite far apart so when they cook they can spread. But they look amazing if you want to have a look closer. So you can see the footprints, you can see some of the dinosaur shapes. These ones I would say are a little bit too dark, but that's okay because they taste great. Miss Singh has actually tasted one, so Miss Singh's actually going to taste one now. They taste really good. So I hope you've had fun today, and we'll see you soon for more baking. Bye.